Donald Trump's 28-point Ukraine peace proposal didn't simply arrive in Kyiv. It landed with the force of a political thunderclap. Handed formally to President Volodymyr Zelensky, the plan jolted European capitals, unsettled Kyiv's leadership, and forced Washington into rapid clarification. Why such shock? Because Trump's outline doesn't pretend to maintain the status quo. It tackles head-on issues Russia has long argued lie at the core of the conflict: NATO expansion, Ukraine's military orientation, and the status of territories Moscow considers historically, culturally, and strategically tied to Russia. As Zelensky heads into meetings with top US officials, he now confronts a proposal that could redefine the battlefield and Europe's future security order. But if Europe rejects it, Kyiv fears it, and Moscow treats it cautiously, is this peace blueprint already politically impossible? Hello and welcome. You're watching Statecraft with me, Geeta Mohan. The plan's origins are just as consequential. Developed after quiet discussions between US envoy Steve Witkoff and his Russian counterpart Kirill Dmitriev, the proposal surfaces at a moment when Russia has announced new battlefield advances, Ukraine faces a $100 million corruption scandal, and European leaders feel sidelined. Meanwhile, Trump has shifted the cost of Ukraine aid onto NATO allies, tightened sanctions on Russian energy companies, and declared securing peace as his administration's top priority. In this climate of pressure and fatigue, the question becomes: can a plan rooted in addressing Russia's long-standing grievances form the basis of a durable settlement? Trump's 28-point document begins with an attempt to reset Europe's entire security architecture, a broad non-aggression pact between Russia, Ukraine, and European states described as resolving all ambiguities of the last 30 years. For Russia, this is the first acknowledgement from Washington that European security cannot be built by ignoring Moscow's concerns. But for many in Europe, the proposal appears to codify what they see as Russia's strategic priorities, halting NATO expansion and formalizing a security buffer. The plan says Russia will not invade neighboring countries and NATO will cease enlargement, a formulation Moscow views as essential to ending what it calls decades of Western encroachment. With NATO deeply involved in Ukraine's defense, even a temporary freeze on new members challenges a principle Europe holds sacred. Ministers privately ask, is this a genuine blueprint for stabilization or a concession to Russian security logic? Trump continues applying pressure on Russia through sanctions while simultaneously offering a framework Europeans view as accommodating Moscow's demands. The result is a diplomatic puzzle. No side fully rejects the plan, but none accept it as written. So as Zelensky prepares for more consultations, European leaders attempt to form a unified response, and Russia waits for specifics. Is Trump's plan a viable starting point for negotiations, or a high-profile proposal doomed by mistrust on all sides?